No, lovely. So I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys what these Palestinian people are out to tell black people that they actually got what they deserve. And this got a lot of people reacting, and I was able to put up some of those stitches. I'm just going to roll a clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. All right, lovelies, let's dive
For the
into it.
past few months, I have been harassed, absolutely harassed by people in my DMs asking me, demanding me, interrogating me as to why I follow Donald Trump. And honestly, I found this to be so ridiculous that it didn't even deserve my attention nor my defense. But I feel like the amount of people who have been harassing me at this point speaks to a larger issue, which is that I sincerely believe that liberals are in a fucking cult, okay? This is cult-like mentality, and it is the entrapment of one's mind where you are not allowing someone to see all sides of the spectrum because you think that we share certain values and we shouldn't be giving any attention to this. I think that it's one of the greatest disservices you can do for yourself and for your community. Now, for a lot of you who are new to following me, I am a person who went to school for journalism. I am a writer. I am a filmmaker. I am a researcher. It is my journalistic responsibility to understand all sides of the spectrum. And I want to say that it's also my responsibility as an American citizen to always understand all sides of the spectrum. Does this make me a Trump supporter? No. But when I went to Palestine, I didn't just live with Palestinians and interview Palestinians. It was imperative for me. It was necessary for me to also give that same attention to Israelis. So I lived with Israelis. I interviewed Israelis. Not because I suddenly empathized or something, but because for me to truly understand what was happening in Palestine, to truly understand the occupation of Palestine, to truly understand how we got to the genocide of Palestinians, I needed to see all sides of the spectrum. And not only can I understand this from a emotional level, I can speak to this from a very factual level, okay? And I think that this is really important. And I feel like a lot of people are unable to do this because this is how living in America has taught us. Okay, the US media does a really good job at indoctrinating all of us, and the US media is very liberal, and it's one of the main reasons why I started following Donald Trump, because I realized that most of the news outlets were no longer reporting on his campaign. They were trying to make it seem almost like he was irrelevant for months, or like actually for the last 2 years. He was barely on CNN or MSNBC. And I remember thinking to myself, like, let me go follow him and check to see what he's saying. Because I knew what they were trying to do was deter people from listening to what he had to say and be enamored by him, because that is what they did in 2016. They were constantly reporting his campaign, and it actually got him to be very popular. But this time they thought that if they didn't report on him, people would just think that he was a non-motherfucking factor and not vote for him. But actually what that did was people wanted to know, wait, why isn't the media reporting on Donald Trump? Let me go follow him. And then they were, again, enamored by him, and they ended up voting for him. This is one of the most influential people of our times. And I think that if you cannot handle listening to someone who is going to be the leader of this nation, I think you need to investigate why. And I think that if you're at that space of like, you're following Donald Trump, I'm unfollowing you. Please, go right ahead and unfollow me. But I just think that that mindset is so elementary. It's very elementary. Like, your thought processes actually have to evolve. Like, you're mad at me for following someone who is going to be the leader of this nation. And people were like, oh, why don't you then follow Biden or Kamala? Like, because the US media is already so liberal. If I wanted to know what they were saying, I wouldn't have to go very far to find it, because every U.S. media station, news outlet was constantly showing us what they were saying and what they were doing. They are the administration in charge right now. So I say all of this to say that I think it's really important that people allow for themselves to see all sides of a spectrum, to truly understand what is going on. And even when we think about Israel and Palestine, like, the main reason people were so pro-Israel for so long was because the U.S. media and the U.S. government were never giving the mic to the Palestinian resistance. They were never showing you the Palestinian side. They were constantly showing you the Israeli side, and they're constantly still showing only the Israeli side. It is imperative that we are constantly looking to see all sides of the spectrum to truly understand what is happening. And that doesn't mean that you always have to empathize, but hey, you might learn something. And I think that people think that I already know Donald Trump. I already know what he's going to say. I don't want to follow him. Like, you don't know everything. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. Actually, the older I get, I'm humbled to realize that I don't know everything. And learning, I'm always up for learning more. Some of my favorite journalists, some of the greatest academics also follow Donald Trump, and they're all liberals as well. Stop doing yourself a disservice by bullying people who are just regular people. Really. Some of you are out here constantly pointing fingers at people who are just trying to get by, who work 9-to-5 jobs, who are trying to at least trying to make a difference. And I am not your fucking enemy. Please, I am not your enemy. But if you feel like you need to unfollow me, please go ahead. I would rather have 100 followers who truly understand me than 1,000,000 followers who don't really know me at all.
I knew it. I knew it because it was the only thing that made sense. Go back and watch my sister's entire video, which is a video of that pro-Pally content creator. And that pro-Pally content creator grew her platform here on TikTok, being a mouthpiece, being a support, being a driver for the pro-Pally movement. She was one who weaponized her platform and her supporters to go after other content creators who weren't using their platforms to speak up and about what was going on in Palestine. She talked negatively about Joe Biden, which I'm not saying is wrong. I understand the reason why they were attacking Joe Biden. She was one calling for a new candidate, and I don't even think she's here in the United States. I for sure don't know, because I don't follow these people like that. But yeah, she was big on TikTok pushing out the movement. And then when Kamala Harris became the nominee, she used her platform to spread misinformation about Kamala Harris, calling her a cop, saying that she jailed all of these black men when she was the attorney general over in the state of California, pushing lies. And now she's talking about why she's a follower of Donald Trump. And she says she's a follower of Donald Trump because liberals are a cult. I knew it. And I will not be shocked if all the rest of them are also followers of Donald Trump and MAGA. That is the only explanation as to why every time y'all asked, what is the plan? If we don't vote for Democrats, what is the plan? They had no plan. They couldn't come back with a plan because the plan was to get Donald Trump into office. This is why it was so easy for them to use their platforms to go after black women on this app who were talking about their support for Kamala Harris and why. We could tell you the plans that she was bringing forth that was going to help not only their community, but our communities. We could tell you what our plan was. Get Kamala Harris into office, and we can for sure get her to negotiate for us and for you. And she's going to bring forth policies that benefit us and you if you live here in the United States. And then, while all of this is going on, if Kamala Harris were to get into office, you all could bring forth a valid third-party candidate to start building their base. So in 2028, they will have a standing in the political arena here in the United States. Black women here in the United States had a plan, and we could voice that plan. We could tell you why we were standing against Donald Trump. We can list all of the policies that he was planning to implement that would hurt us and them. We could run it down. They could not do the same. They had no comeback. But yet they were attacking only Democrats. They were attacking only Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They were attacking black women who had a solid plan. And now we know why. I guarantee you, they all are Trump supporters. They all stand with white supremacy and racism. They all view themselves superior to black people and our voices. And that is why they stand with Donald Trump and MAGA nuts. And now that Donald Trump has won, she specifically is comfortable in coming out to tell you that she follows Donald Trump, and it's because liberals are in a cult. Who does that sound like? Baby Cat Williams was in line when he said 2024 was going to be the year of truth and exposure. There's another month to go in 2024. I can't wait to see what it is that we are going to learn.
Isn't it just ridiculous? No, but seriously, like, they think it's okay to go around harassing people for what they eat or what they drink or who they follow or whether or not they're supporting a celebrity who hasn't come out to speak out against Israel. But now if you ask why they're following Donald Trump, it's like, how dare you not allow me to see both sides of the spectrum?
You know, this is actually another reason y'all have to lose. I hate to say this because as scared as I am of Trump, we can't have people that are literally denying genocide and the people who support it right in front of us like this. It's ridiculous. Y'all need to be humbled, actually. She supports genocide, bro. They literally both do. That's one thing they actually are bipartisan on. And the fact that y'all are this in denial about it says we can't trust you just like we can't trust lying Trump supporters. Isn't that embarrassing for y'all that y'all have to come on the internet every day and actually lie about basic facts that everyone can see? Like Tim Walz saying the expansion of America and its proxies in Israel are important to our interest. AKA, yes, Jewish people, we're using you to colonize Palestine and we're openly telling you we're doing it. And then you have people like you getting online lying about it. We can't do this for 4 years, bro. We can't. I'm not going to sit here and be arguing with Trump supporters for 4 years because this is Trump supporter shit. She supports.
The answer is collective punishment. And then what happens next? Once we're humbled, once we all have a big slice of humble pie, what happens next? What happens next? You get satisfaction? Like, what happens? Since we all need to collectively be punished, what happens next? Once we get our punishment, once we're humbled, what next? In the comfort of your blue state, what happens next? I'm in a blue state as well. So I know I won't be impacted the same as a lot of other people. So what happens when all of these people get their slice of pie? How does it help? The collective punishment that we all need. We all need to be humbled.
What's crazier than y'all announcing that you're going to Starbucks or McDonald's tomorrow is that you thought we believe you ever stopped. Let me see that back. What's crazier than y'all announcing that you're going to Starbucks or McDonald's tomorrow is that you thought we believe you ever stop. Let me see that back.
It's not a hate towards us. Y'all make it seem like it's a collective hate. Maybe people hate you. Maybe people hate you. You ever thought of that? That maybe they don't like you because you come around and want to make yourself the center of everything. Stop hating us when no one spoke to you. And he didn't go back to Starbucks. He went to McDonald's. And that's why y'all need to stop just listening to what other people say, you weirdos. Like the time you're spending in people's comment sections, the time that you're spending on your TikTok crying about people arguing, you could just continue to do the work, continue to do the important stuff, but you haven't been doing anything. So the only thing you can do is come on here and cry about it.
Like, seriously, Lovelace, the point remains that the people that this will actually affect the most is, these people. They are actually the ones that will get affected by all of this. So some of them are all out to say, oh, you guys deserve what you get. It's like, you lose or you won. As if anything that's going to happen is going to affect, especially, Black Americans. Like, they are the real Americans. They are not the ones that is going to be deported. They are not the ones that like, I don't get it. I could actually remember this first lady. I stitched her video, happens to be a Palestinian woman. Like, I could vividly, remember some of the stitches of hers that during the course of election and what have you. She is all out then talking about who and who not to boycott. She even, brought about boycotting all of the top celebrities. She was all about boycotting, stock bars and all of that. And now it's been found that she is following, and she's all out here defending the fact that she has to do what she has to do because she's a journalist. Nobody's disputing that fact. And another thing that leaks about her is the fact that she is actually against people that look like me. Because sometimes in her other platforms, she talks about how power people are this, like they have this entire blackness in them. Like, this is just the truth. This is just the truth. They just don't like it when people, that looks like me or whatsoever is actually not getting the kind of treatment that they are getting. Like, they just don't want people that looks like them to face whatsoever predicament. They assume that it is actually Black people that is meant to be in such position. That's why when they see that Black people are just minding their business, they are getting so upset. They feel that Black people should actually leave whatsoever that is their own problems and focus more about their own problem. They don't care what you have to go through. They don't care if you're oppressed or not. What they care about is that leave your own struggle and focus more about us, because we do not deserve to be treated the way we are treated. You people who happens to be people of, are supposed to be treated that way. This is just what I see. Like, seriously. She and many other pro-Palestinian people are the reason why it's as if, Black people are backing out, focusing more on themselves. They are not even the ones that is facing the predicament that is happening, but they are contradicting those people that really need the help. This is one thing about some of these pro-Palestinian people. Herself inclusive, was the other woman's name and the other one. Like, they are the reason why it's as if people are just, okay, we don't care anymore. We just want to, because of what they keep on saying and doing in that platform, coming after, Black women, most especially. The same people that stood by you guys, the same people that, use their platform to make sure that you guys are okay. Whatsoever progress that the power people is having is the contribution. Most of them are also the contribution and the advocacy of people that looks like me. I'm not minding that these people have their own problems. They are supposed to use their platform or avenue to talk about what is happening in Congo, but They decided to focus more on you guys. But now that they wanted to, like, okay, they want to do something that will help them and also help minority group. No, you people do not want to do that. Now she's all talking about how, oh, I'm a Trump support, I'm not a TP supporter. You don't really need to say that. You don't, like, people know who really you are. You've been found out. There's no point beating around the bush, or because people found you out, or because, so many of them are like this. That was why they had that nerve to actually launch a campaign of abandon this person, abandon that person, abandon this and that. They all contributed. And Naya, in the other hand, was like, "Oh, we are not the reason why you guys are feeling the way you're feeling." But now someone is out here talking about, "Oh, you lose, and that is it." Like, seriously, yeah, saying all these things, forgetting that people that they feel that was going to be affected with all of the controversy are not even going to be affected. They are going to be the ones that is going to be affected with all of these things. Like, these same people are all out. It's not as if they feel that Kamala Harris is a perfect, or I mean, Democrats are the perfect people for the job. It's not as if people are, but just that when you're faced with two options, that you just have to choose one. And just like my favorite TikToker Tabitha, Politics by Tabitha, said that she was like, black women had a plan. They had a plan, and she described all the plans, and that is it. This is why people often do something using their emotions. They don't do something thinking. They don't do something strategically, because they feel that, you know they just don't want anything that will get people that just like this to be on the front line. They don't want that. There's a video I stitched one time. A lady, I think she's a pan color woman, she was like, some of the people that voted out of they want to hurt someone. They didn't vote out of what they gain, what they ought to gain. They voted because they want to hurt someone. They want to send a message to some particular set of people. Like, why would you do that? Why would you jeopardize what you actually need, what your livelihood, because you want to hurt someone, because you want to send a message to somebody? And that is one thing about some of these power people, doing something to actually send a message, but you don't know in a return you are actually hurting yourself. Even if you are not there in the location where all of the things JOC is happening, you are contributing to it one way or the other. Instead of it to use such energy that you use in coming for black women, black people, use it, focus more on fighting for yourselves, because these people now, the black people, they are tired. They want to focus more on themselves. Since all of their effort is of waste, people do not want it. And just because black people were like, okay, we are there, we just want to focus on ourselves now, everyone is getting angry. Why not just move on now? Like, seriously, nobody like whatsoever thing that is happening in Pal, in Sudan, and in Congo. But it shouldn't be like it's a place for black people to do something. So if they don't do something, nobody's like, there are other people that could also help. You yourself as a power person, you could start by helping. Advocate these people that you are just getting angry because they're trying to like focus more on their own problems. They are not the problem. They are not the people that you should come for. You should come for the people that you feel that are very responsible for what is happening. Every other person have problems and looking for ways to tackle it. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel or to this extent, please do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload. If I've watched up to this extent, thank you so much for watching. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So please subscribe to this channel, leave your thoughts, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.